Okay, good morning, class. So today we're looking at the prelim paper 2 that you guys wrote. So we're going through these questions. If any problems, please let me know so that I can try and sort out the misunderstanding that we're having with regards to these questions. Okay. So it was a 3-hour paper for 150 marks. Okay. You have to tell that the table below shows the heart rate per minute of 10 pupils before exercising and 5 minutes after exercising with the skipping rope. Okay, so we got the heart rate before, the heart rate after. Before is denoted with the X and after denoted with a Y, of course. So the question says determine the equation of the least squares regression line for the starter. So the least squares regression line, we know we must program our calculator. So what we do is we press mode 3 for set, 2 for A plus Bx. Remember that the standard form of this equation is the form of y is equal to A plus Bx. Okay. So get somebody read out the values in the x column. 44 yes, 80 yes, 56, 95, 75, 78, 84, 61, 9 yes, 76, 64. Okay, now that's it. Moving over to the y column, yes, 66, 85, 69, 100, 81, 90, 107, 76, 88, 82. You all agree that the heart rate will be higher, okay, after exercising. Okay. So what do I do? I then press AC, all clear, which is then storing the information in the calculator. Shift, 1 for stat, then 5 for regression, 1 for A, 2 for B, and 3 for R. So your A value is 28,61. My equation is y is equal to 28,61 plus shift 1, 5, 2 for B, which is in 0,077, 0,77, 03, 3, so this is 4, x. Okay. You didn't specify, normally we write in 2 decimal places or 3, doesn't matter, yeah? It says write down the correlation coefficient, of course this is your R value. So this tells you how close or how far apart the relationship that is existing between the two variables. So it's 5, then 3 for your R value. So that's 0, 885 if you want, or 8. Okay. They asked you to comment on this here. What can we say about this one? The strong correlation. That's a strong correlation, yeah? So the next question says, after extended period of time, each person's heart rate returned to the original heart rate. What does that mean? That means to say whatever this value is here, that is the original heart rate, which is the x, then the y becomes the original heart rate again. Which means to say the x value and the y value is going to be the. If the heart rate returns, if the first person is 44 and it returns to 44, and the next person 2 is 80 and it returns to 80, 56 and it returns to 56, what do you notice? The x value and the y values are the same. So if that is the case, we can then say, so the question says return to the own original heart rate, write down the gradient of the new least squares regression line. So if the x value and the y value is the same, then what's the gradient of this line? 0, the person is dead. 1. So therefore the gradient is equal to, okay. Let's look at the next question. Question 2, we are told that, so I'm going to kill the people in saying, the box and whisker diagram below shows the percentage obtained by two classes in mathematics, paper 1 and paper 2 in September examination. Okay? So class 1, or class A paper 1, class B paper 1, class A paper 2, and class B paper 2. Okay? Which class and paper has the highest range? So what is range, people? The highest value minus the lowest value, not so. So which class has the highest range? Of course, will lead to this fairly large. Not so. No, this is actually larger. You all agree with that? So which class has the highest range? It's going to be class B, paper 1. You all agree with that? Any confusion there? Class B, paper 1. So the next question says, write down the median of class B, paper 1. People, what's the median? The middle number of sorted data, not so. So class B, paper 1, the median is that value there. And of course, the median is going to be read at that point. So that's between 50 and 60, it has to be 55%. Okay, next question. Between which two percentages did the weakest 75% of class B obtain for paper 2? So here is class B, paper 2, the weakest 75. Remember, each of this represents 25% of the data. Not so. This doesn't mean that. Okay, so the weakest 75%, of course, is the bottom. Okay, so the weakest 75 is going to go, of course, in that direction. So they want to know between which two percentages. So it's between 15% and this value here, which is 55%. Sorry, 65%. Okay, you would agree with that? And then the last question says, is there another one? No. Last question for 2.1. So get off. Question 2.1, we are told, is the result for class A, paper 2, class A, paper 2, skewed to the left or right? So as you can see here, that gap is larger than that gap on that side. Not so. So this is skewed to the left, also known as negatively skewed. Not so. So the answer here is, it is skewed to the left or right? It's left. Why? Because the difference between the median, and the lowest value is larger than the highest value minus 4,000. Okay. Question 2.2 now. We are told that A class of 15 pupils. Class of 15 pupils achieve the following marks in a test out of 100 on data. Salam. Determine the mean mark for this data. If the next question deals with your standard deviation, of course, going to make more sense just to enter it into the calculator. Not so. So what I do is now I need to program the calculator again. So you press mode, stat. Now we're going to do first variance. Number one, we have to press sum the read out the data. First value is 26, yes? 28, 29, just hang on. 29, 29, 34, 36, 37, 43, 44, 45, 48, 49, 54, 58, 59. Okay, so press AC, all clear, shift, and 1 for step, 4 for variance, 2 for mean. Then 41 comma 27. Okay, so the next question says write down the standard deviation. So for the standard deviation, begin to shift 1, 4 for variance, 3 for standard deviation. 10 comma 63. Okay. So the next question says determine the percentage of learners who lies above 1 standard deviation. So it's above the 1 standard deviation mark. So we say your mean plus your standard deviation. If it says below 1 standard deviation, then I would have said your mean minus the standard deviation. So in other words, it's going to be 41 comma 27 plus 10 comma 63. Okay, which now gives me an answer of 41.27 plus 10.63. What will this is the answer? It's going to give you 51.9. So any value above 51.9 is going to be considered. Also, there's 26 above or below? Below. 29 below. These numbers are already in ascending order, not so. So I'm looking for more than 51. So it's the last three values there. Not so. So what's the question? They want to know the percentage. Sorry? Yes? So that's what I'm calculating. Oh. So how many is lying above? 3 out of 15. And then multiplied by 100, which gives us 3 divided by 15 times 100 gives you 20%. 20% of these values is lying above 1 standard deviation of the mean. People if that ask us 2 standard deviations, then ask us how many is lying above 2 standard deviations of the mean. Then I would, if it was 2 standard deviations then I would have taken the standard deviation value and multiplied by 2. And then do this calculation and see how many values are lying above that. When they say 3, then that's multiplied by 3 thereafter. Okay? Instead of 2. There's a variation there to that. But normally the question is determine the percentage lying within 1 standard deviation of the mean. Okay? And you work out the your mean minus your standard deviation and your mean plus your standard deviation. And you see how many values is lying between those two values. People were told that trapezium with vertices negative 4 and 1, which is 5 and 7, R, which is here, and H, which is negative 6 and negative 2, is drawn, with PS being parallel to QR. Determine the gradient of PS. I'm going to minimize this a bit. The gradient of PS. The gradient of PS is going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. The question paper and memo can be found in the description box below. Okay. So it's going to be y2. So PS, remember PS is parallel to QR. Alright, so it's going to be 4 minus 2, which is plus 2, and negative 4 minus 6, which is plus 6. So it gives me 6 over 2, which is 3. So the gradient of this line is 3, which makes QR also 3. Okay. So the next question. Here we are told that number 2. We are told determine the equation of QR. As we see, the QR gradient is the same as the gradient of PS, which is now 3. So y is equal to 3x plus c. Now to calculate c, I'm going to substitute the point that's lying on QR. And the only point lying on QR is q. That's so you're going to substitute q, which is 5 and 7. It's a x and a y. So 7 is equal to 3 times 5, which is 15 plus c. So 7 minus 15, of course, is c. Therefore, c is equal to 7 minus 15, negative 8. Not so. So y is equal to 3x minus. Okay. Then in 3.1.3, determine the length of PQ. So I determine the length, distance formula. Leave your answer in simplified search form. So for PQ is going to be distance formula. So it's going to be x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Okay? So PQ is going to be 5 minus 4, which is plus 4 squared, plus 7 minus 4 squared. Okay, so we put it in a calculator. It's going to be the square root of this for the normal term, so we press mode and 1. Otherwise, we calculate you're doing some other thing. We press shift 9, you declare also is 3, equal yes, and equal again, or AC. So we press the square root of 4 plus 5 is 9, so it's 9 squared, plus 7 minus 4, which is 3 squared, which is 9. If you want to write 9, otherwise it will be 3 root. Okay. Also note that I'm populating my diagram. Okay. So the question says determine the coordinates of R. Determine the coordinates of R if PQ is equal to QS. Okay, now just to note something at this point. If PQ is equal to QS, okay, and if PQ is equal to SR, PQ is equal to SR, sorry. If that is the case, R has to be a value less than a Y value less than negative 2. The reason for that is if it's greater than negative 2, With that length being equal, this could be a parallelogram. But specifically, it says a trapezoid with trapezium. So your R value, your Y value must be less than negative. Does it make sense? Okay, so if it's more than, that value must of course be omitted there. So considering PQ being equal to SR, PQ of course is going to be 3 root 10. SR, if I make this X and Y, remember this is lying on this line here of QR. So the corresponding Y value is also 3x minus 8. So R's coordinates actually x and 3x minus 8. Why did I do that? So that I only have one unknown. Okay? You guys understand? So that is simply going to be the square root of 5 minus x. Let's go the other way around. I can have the x's first. So it's going to be x minus 5 squared plus 3x minus 8 minus 7 all squared. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to square both sides. Okay, so that's going to give you 90. I'm going to simplify that. Then the square roots of course cancel the square there. So it's going to be x squared minus 10x binomial squared plus 25 plus. Now that gives you negative 15. Is that correct? So it's 3x minus 15. If I square that out, it's going to give us 9x squared. That's negative 45 plus negative 45 is positive 90x plus 225. So that gives you 0 is equal to, I'm just starting up here a bit, so it's x squared minus 90, negative 10 plus 90 is positive 80x. And of course, 225 minus 90 plus 25 gives us 160. Okay. So I can divide throughout by 10. So the 0 is equal to x squared plus 8x plus 16. Okay. Is that the binomial squared? Or did I make a mistake? I used the wrong value. I used 5 and 7. So this is all omitted. Start again. It's going to be PQ is equal to SR. I suppose I've used S, I used Q. Okay. So PQ is going to be 3 root 10 is equal to SR, which is the square root of x minus 6 squared plus 3x minus 8 plus 2 squared. Okay. So of course this here works out to be 3x minus 6 squared. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to square both sides of the equal sign. So it's going to give you 90 is equal to, the square cancel the square root. So it's going to be x squared plus, that times 2 is going to give you 12x plus 36 plus. 3x whole square is going to give you 9x squared. 3x times negative 6, negative 18 times 2 is negative 36x plus 36. Is that correct? 18 times 2 should be 36. Okay, so I'm going to add like them, so it's going to give you 10x squared. Those two are like them, so it's going to be negative 24x. 36 plus 36 is 72. 72 minus 90 we give you negative 18. Okay, so I can use quadratic formula, or I can use a trinomial factorization. Or I just simply use this option here on the calculator. Replace mode, 5-way equation. This can only happen on the FX 991 series. Okay, it's not going to happen on the normal calculator. Then I place 3. It's going to be 10, negative 24, negative 18. It's going to give me x value of 3 and negative 5 over 3. Okay. So now to get the corresponding y value. Okay, so what I do is I now substitute that. Since it's lying on this line of QR, I can just substitute it into this formula. So I say y is equal to 3 into 3 minus 8, which is 9, and 9 minus 8 is 1. And of course, on the other hand, we have y is equal to 3 into negative 3 over 5 minus 8, which of course will be 3 times negative, 3 times negative 3 over 5 minus 8 gives us negative 45 over 49 over 5. Okay, which also gives us negative 9,8. So if you look here, earlier on I said it has to be a number, your y value must be less than negative 2. So which means to say that it has to be omitted. So therefore R has to be negative 3 over 5 and negative 49 over 5. Okay? I think that was a good question there for 4 marks. Let's go to the next question. We are told that in the diagram, let's write it 3.2. So in the diagram, below, OA lies on the line y is equal to 2x. Here, y is equal to 2x. Point C, which is 5 and 5, lies on AB. Then we are told that OB is perpendicular to AB. And the angle of inclination of OB is, so that is that value, okay, of 18,431,498,482 degrees. The question says determine the area of triangle AOB. So people, as you can see, this is a right angle triangle. Not so how do you calculate the area of a right angle triangle? Going to be half a base times perpendicularity. Not so. And since we have perpendicularity, that's the formula we're going to use. If we did not have that perpendicularity, then I would have used the area. Not so, which is half OB times OA times sine of angle AO. Okay. So firstly, we need to know what the coordinates of A is and what the coordinates of B is, so that we can work out the distance. You see that? So let's see. Firstly, we can work out the equation of OB. Okay. How do we work out that? By working out the gradient of OB is equal to tan the angle of inclination, which is 18,434,94882. Okay, the reason why they gave you so many decimals there is because that we must take the whole number. Okay, that's coming from. So it's 18 the rounded of numbers. 18,434,94882 is equal to 0,3333. Or not I just said the whole number. But that can be converted to a rational number, that's all. This can be written as a third. So that's going to make life a bit easier for us if we notice that that was a third. If you didn't notice, you're going to then work with a lot of decimals. Okay, so that is the gradient of OB. Therefore, the equation of OB is simply y is equal to a third x. You see value is 0 because that's going through the y-intercept of 0. Okay, so that is that equation, that line. Okay, then for AB, for the equation of AB now, we know that the gradient of AB times the gradient of OB is negative 1. So the gradient of AB, of course, is negative 3. So I got y is equal to negative 3x plus c. Now we'll substitute the pointer's line on AB, which is c, which is 5 and 5. Namely x and y there. So 5 is equal to negative 3 into 5 plus c. So c works out to be 20. So your equation of AB is y is equal to minus 3x plus 20. Okay. Okay. So with that, I can now calculate the coordinates of B, which is the point of intersection between lines AB and OB. So I'm going to write here for the coordinates of B. You don't have to write that. I'm just writing so that you guys can follow. So it's going to be 3x plus 20 is equal to the 30x. So I multiplied by 3 to get rid of the fraction. So it's 9x plus 20 equals x. So 8x is equal to, now 20 times 3 is 60. Okay, take it over, it becomes negative. The gradient is supposed to be negative. Did I have a positive here? Let's check here. They made a mistake here. I just said didn't write the negative. Yeah, I didn't write the negative here. Okay, sorry about that. The reason why I knew I was wrong is that it has to be, your x has to be positive. Okay. So we go again. For B, so you got negative 3x plus 20 is equal to a 30x. So again, multiplied by 3, it's going to be negative 9x plus 60 is equal to x. So negative 10x is equal to negative 60, x is equal to 10. Now it makes sense. Okay? So therefore your y is simply going to be 1 over 3 times 10, which is 10 over 3. So therefore the coordinates of B is 10 and 10 over 3. Okay. That's a mistake. Why did you guys stop me by making a mistake? Should be 6 and not 10. Okay, so y is equal to a third times 6, which is 2. Therefore, B is 6 and 2. That makes more sense, okay? And the nice thing about this analytical geometry, you can see if your sum is not making sense. Okay? You just need to check, okay, where did I go wrong? Okay, as I'm doing here. So you guys want to correct me. So that is B. Right, how can you calculate A? Same method. So for A, you see that the equation of OA equals AB. So of course 2x is equal to negative 3x plus 20. They get over the equal sign, so 5x is equal to 20, x is equal to 4. And then your y corresponding y value is y times 2 times 4, which is 8. Therefore A is going to be 4 and 8. Okay. So now we can say, okay, the length of OB now. Remember, because the area is going to be our base, which is OB, times perpendicular height, which is AB. Alright, so OB, the length of OB is going to be OB 0 and 0, and of course B is 4.8. So it's 4 minus 0 squared plus 8 minus 0 squared. So OB, of course, is going to be the square root of 4 squared plus 8 squared. It's 4 root 5. Okay, for AB, same story. The square root of 4 minus 6 squared plus 8 minus 2 squared. Okay, so it's going to be the square root of 4 minus 6 is negative 2 squared plus 8 minus 2 is going to be 6 squared. Gives you 2 root 10. Okay, so therefore the area is going to be of 4 root 5 times 2 root 10. Of course that cancels, and then it's going to be 4 root 50. The root of 50 can be written as 25 times 2, which is 4 times 5 root 2, which is 20 root 2 units squared. Okay, according to the memo, I got 20 units. So OB I got 2 root 10. OB is 2 root 10. Let's recheck this quickly. So it's going to be 4 minus 0 squared plus 8 minus 0 squared. Oh, I see. I used AO. Must be OB. I write OB, but I use the wrong values. So that's going to be the square root of 6 minus 0 squared plus 2 minus 0 squared. That then gives me an answer of 2 root 10. So that must be 2 root 10, which now means to say A is equal to half times 2 root 10 times 2 root 10. That cancels, leaves you 2 times 10, which is 20 units squared. So when I worked it out initially, it was correct. Okay, so the memo is correct. Okay. But there's quite a few mistakes here. Sorry about that. But as I said, you can see from the diagram if your answer is making sense or not. Okay. Let's go to number 4. Question 4 says in the diagram below, the equation of circle center M is. The equation of circle center M is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the equation here so I can move it up a bit. It's going to be x squared plus y squared plus 6x minus 8y minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay. A is a diameter. The A is the diameter of the circle. The equation of the tangent to the circle at A is, so if this is the tangent, we know this is 90 degrees there. And the equation of this line is y is equal to negative 1 over 5x plus k. Is RCB is a straight line. Okay. Take this up. That is the equation of the circle. That's the equation of that line. Okay. The first question says determine the coordinates of M. So of course you must get the standard form of the circle in the form of x minus a squared plus y minus b squared is equal to r squared. Okay, that's the form you must get it in. So we know we're going to first get it in that order. So you're going to x squared plus 6x plus a number to complete the square with plus y squared minus 8y plus a number to complete the square with equals, we take a negative 1 over the equal sign, becomes 1 plus the first number plus the second number. So how do we work out this? We take a b value, multiply it by half, I get 3, and 3 squared of course is 9. 8 times half is 4, and 4 squared is 16. Okay. So which means to say it's going to be x plus 3 squared plus y minus 4 squared is equal to 26. Is that correct? So to answer the question, m is simply going to be negative 3n. Okay. So can you rewrite this equation in that form? Alright. So the next question in number 2 says, write down the length of the radius. And your answer should be left in simplified third form. So we know that this here is normally your r square. So number 2, your r square is 26, which will imply that your radius is going to be the root of 26. I'm not going to go plus minus here because your radius is never negative. So is our hypotenuse. Okay. Determine the equation of the diameter AS. So as we know that the diameter stands 90 degrees to the tangent. So the gradient of the tangent is negative a fifth. So therefore the gradient of the radius or the diameter is going to be 5. Why? Because the gradient of the tangent times the gradient of the radius is negative 1. So if we got y is equal to 5x plus c. As you can see, this has a positive gradient, which makes sense why that is positive there. The graph is increasing. We're going to substitute m, which is negative 3 and 4. That being an x and a y. So 4 is equal to 5 times negative 3 plus c. So that's negative 15. Negative 15, take it over, becomes positive 15. So c is 19. So therefore y is equal to 5x plus 19. That's the equation of your diameter. Okay. What happened now? Okay, so all the information that we just calculated is on the diagram. Take it off there. Let's look at the next question. Determine the coordinates of A. Pull this up a bit. You're asked to determine the coordinates of A. So where's A? A is here. Okay. So A is the point of intersection of the tangent and the diameter, but we don't have the value of K on the tangent. So we can't use that. However, A is also the point of intersection of the circle and the diameter. Not so. Since we have the equation of both, for A, I'm going to substitute the equation of the diameter into the equation of the circle. Okay. Why? Because that's the point of intersection. So x plus 3 squared plus y is now 5 x plus 19 minus 4 squared is equal to 26. When we square this out, becomes x squared plus 6x plus 9. That, of course, is 15, not so. So 5 squared is 25x squared. 5 times 15, 75, times 2 is 150. X, 15 squared is 2 to 5, minus 26 is equal to 0. Tidy this up a bit, so it's 26x squared. So that and that. Assalamualaikum. Yes? No problem. Okay, so it's going to be 9 plus 25. 9 plus 25. 225, sorry. Plus, no, minus 26. Gives us an answer, 208. Is that correct? Why do I feel like I'm alone in the class again? Alright, so let's look at the roots. So we go mode, equation 3. So it's 26 equals 156 equals, and then answer gives you x is equal to negative 2, or x is equal to negative 4. Okay. Can x be negative 2? Huh? No. Because it has to lie on the left hand side of negative 3. So it has to be negative 4. Okay? Why do we have two values? Because the diameter is cutting the circle twice. It cuts here and there. Can you see that? This S here is negative 2. Okay. That's what makes this so nice, no? So it makes sense to us. It should make sense. To calculate the corresponding y value, we substitute into the straight lines, the easier one of the two. So 5 times negative 4 plus 19, we will answer negative 1. So therefore, A is going to be negative 1, negative 1. Alright, let's look at the next question quickly. Hence, otherwise determine the value of k. Let's take us off again. Determine the value of k. So as you can see here, we have a line that a point that's lying on this line. So we're going to substitute negative 4 and negative 1 into the equation of y is equal to negative 1 over 5x plus k. That being an x and a y, so negative 1 is equal to negative 1 over 5 times negative 4 plus k. So it's 4 over 5 plus k is equal to negative 1. K is negative 1 and 4 over 5. Which is also negative 9 over 5. Okay. The next question is number 6. We are told that if O or C, this angle here is 1,31 degrees. Prove with the reason that point R, C, P, and Q are concyclic. R, P, C, P, and Q is concyclic. What does that mean? That means to say a circle can be drawn through those points. So how do we prove that that's a cyclic quad? We prove that either opposite angles are supplementing, exterior angle is equal to the interior opposite, or the converse of the both are. Not so. So here we already got 11,31. So if I can prove 11,31 is equal to that angle, I've done the job. Not so. So what I do is to calculate this angle here. And since I know that the gradient of that tangent is negative a fifth, so I can say tan, let's call this alpha for now. Tan alpha is equal to negative 1 over 5. So that alpha angle is equal to arctan of negative 1 over 5. Oops. There's arctan of negative 1 over 5. Gives you negative 11 comma 30 plus 180 gives you 169 comma 830. Well, sorry, 168 comma 69, which is this angle here. Okay. Now to get the corresponding y and corresponding angle, we know it's angles on the straight line. So therefore, angle C QB is going to be 180 minus 168 comma 69, which gives you an answer of 11,31 degrees. So now we say since ORC is equal to OQB, which is equal to 11,31. Therefore, RCPQ is concyclic. Why? Because the converse of angles in the same segment. Okay. So tomorrow we will carry on with this paper. People enjoy the rest of your day. Good morning, class. These are files that we have taken out for moderation. Please keep it there. Okay.